What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. I sure hope you guys have been doing well because it has been a minute since I have uploaded. So if you are following me on Instagram, then you guys would know that the past almost 2 weeks, I want to say like a week and a half, have just been absolutely crazy. I feel like when you're in college, you will have like 2.5 weeks where you have not a whole lot going on, not a whole lot of schoolwork, and then all of a sudden everything just hits you right in the face. And that's kind of what happened to me last week / this week. So today is Thursday, November 1st. Happy November. And I'm finally done with all the BS that has been going on over the past week and a half. And when I say that, I really just mean I had 4 tests over the last week as well as a project due. Whenever I have test on test on test, I just get really bummed out because it's hard for me to sit down and film a YouTube video as well as edit it and have enough time to study on top of like being in class for 5 hours a day and stuff like that. So what I did over the past week and a half was I just took a ton of clips of me studying because I've gotten a lot of really good positive feedback on my latest study motivation vlog. So I've gotten a lot of footage of that, and what I'm just gonna go ahead and do is compile all that together for you guys in today's video. And make sure you watch the whole thing because I'm gonna be kind of like giving you guys little tips all throughout the video, and then stay tuned until the end to find out how I did on my tests because I've gotten all my grades back now. But yeah, so just so you guys aren't confused, the next clip you're about to see was from like over a week ago. It's from like a week and a half ago, and then the last clip in this vlog will be today. I'm just gonna update you guys on how the test went. Alright, so anyways, I really hope you guys like this video. Once again, I just want to thank you guys for being so understanding on the weeks that I'm not able to really upload just because of school. It's always because of school. I promise it's not because I'm being lazy. But I'm excited because I don't really have anything going on much over the next few weeks. I have one test next week, but it's just one test, so that's not that big of a deal. Also, please be sure to let me know what kind of videos you want to see this month. I am really excited about the transition of seasons. I'm so excited to put my Christmas tree up later this month. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. But yeah, let me know for sure what type of content you would like to see from me other than these types of videos. I know you guys like the study ones, but I want to put up like a variety as well. One more thing, if you're not already, be sure to follow me on Instagram because I just post a lot of behind the scenes stuff on there, and I love to interact with you guys on there as well. But yeah, I think I babbled enough, so let's just go ahead and get right into the video. So the first few tests I had last week were more conceptual based rather than mathematical based. So what I like to do in those types of classes is just print out all the notes. You guys have probably seen me do this in past videos. And then I just like to annotate and highlight, and I just extract things that I think I'm gonna need to know. And then I also will do a little bit more research on specific things on the side. But yeah, I just want to show you guys how I'm specifically studying for these classes. This one was my life insurance class, which it was mainly just like a ton of concepts I had to understand. So it's been like a day or so since I updated you guys on how studying is going. So it's noon right now, it's a Wednesday, and I was studying like out in the library earlier, but I just could not focus. I feel like in the daytime there's so many people in the library, which is totally fine, but I'm just so ADD in the way that like if there's people walking around, I can't focus. So I ended up booking myself a little study room. Thank God there was one open. Just came down here, checked into it. I got myself some coffee because your girl is just tired today and I have a really long day ahead of me. My exam for this class is tomorrow, so I need to start like really like making sure I know this stuff. The only thing is tonight I have a night class, which is like 3 hours long. So I need to make sure I get a ton of studying in before that because I really like should not be studying in the middle of class I'm supposed to be like paying attention to. This room also has a whiteboard, which is pretty nice. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and take advantage of that and use it for like some of my math problems. But yeah, I have this room until 2, so I'm gonna be in here until then. So my test tomorrow is actually only on 3 chapters. Thank goodness it's not on more. The chapters are kind of lengthy. I've gotten through 2 of them, and then the 3rd is right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and spend the next few hours just looking over what I've already really started to study. And then later in the afternoon, I'm gonna go ahead and like start looking at this last chapter, just because I feel like I can spend most of my time tonight on this chapter if I spend most of my time right now studying the stuff that I'm already familiar with. So I feel like it's just about time management. Like instead of trying to like study it all at once, like do it in little sections and it'll make it so much easier. it's a few hours later. I came home and I'm just in my kitchen now. I wanted to get a little change of scenery, but I do want to show you guys kind of what I'm focusing on now. So I'm pretty much understanding all the material, but there's just some things that I feel like I need to brush up on, and sometimes doing just a few minutes of simple research can really help. So for example, I'm just reading more up on pure identity right now. So I'm just looking up online and I'm actually learning so much stuff, and what I'm pretty much doing is just like taking notes on the side if I need to add anything. I know this looks kind of messy, so sorry about that, but it's making sense to me. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, and I feel like if you just take a few minutes out of your studying time to like do a little bit more research, whether it's online, with your textbook, looking at like old homework assignments and stuff, it can really help clarify a lot of stuff, rather than you just kind of sitting there in the dark and being really confused about a lot of the information while being like too lazy to actually look up what you're confused about, if that makes sense. So I'm just going through right now and kind of brushing up on a couple things, but overall I'm feeling pretty good about this. So on weeks that I have exams back to back, something that I like to do is studying before class rather than after, because I feel like you never want to go study after class and it's just like such a downer. And if you do study after class, it's always nice to treat yourself, and if you have one, bring a friend that can maybe quiz you on the class. My friend Brady and I got pizza this day, and it was really nice because he helped me out.
Purchased a building from Richard in December 2017. Jim obtained a loan from Getaway Bank to purchase the building.
Alright, so it is Saturday, October 27th, and I'm on the way right now to the library. I'm not gonna lie, it's honestly a really sucky feeling when you can't celebrate your last Halloween of college because you're so overwhelmed with schoolwork, and like literally if I wasn't going to the library right now, I would be hating myself tomorrow because I just don't want to cram the night before my exam. So yeah, right now I'm going to get my study on in the library. I'll probably listen to some Halloween music to up my spirits, which will be fun. And I'll probably also be the only one in the library because everyone here in Charlotte is going to a bar crawl today. But yeah, I just want to check up with you guys and let you know that I will update you as the afternoon goes along. This stuff is just hard, and I feel like if I were to like not have my notes in front of me, I wouldn't get it, if that makes sense. Like I'm trying to like practice the homework and stuff, and it's not working, and I'm trying really hard to not like break down, but it's just really hard because I feel like I don't have much help, if that makes sense. I did want to let you guys know that I ended up getting my shiz together for this class. I was just really bummed out that day that I had to be in the library on a Saturday, and I think I just let it get to me. But the next day on Sunday, I ended up meeting up with some people in my class, and we all put our heads together, and we studied really hard, and I actually ended up doing really well on that exam. It was for microecon. But yeah, I feel like I always get frustrated when I don't understand something off the bat, and it's really important to not let that like ruin your mood, if that makes sense, because then it's just all gonna go downhill from there. And then treat yourself. Like after studying, go do something fun. What I ended up doing this day was I went to a little pumpkin patch and I got some pumpkins finally, and then I did actually end up going out and celebrating Halloween that night. But yeah, just wanted to update you. Hello you guys! So it has been a few days since I talked to you last, so kind of a lot has gone on in those few days. So real quick, I'm gonna update you. My test tomorrow is the one that I have been probably like dreading the most. It's my hardest class. It's called Financial Theory and Practice, which by the name you can probably tell it's a whole lot of bleh. I want to show you guys how I am studying for this one because this is not conceptual. So in all my other study videos, you guys always see me like highlighting and annotate. This is just pure math, and I want to show you guys how I'm studying for it. Alright, so as you guys know, I am a big on paper type of gal. So I do all my notes and stuff like that electronically, but when it comes down to studying, I print everything out because I think it's so much nicer to have everything in front of you, and I have seen dramatic difference in my grades by doing this because the first few years of college, I did all my studying via my laptop. Okay, so here is my binder for this class. So the way that I'm prepping for this, I want to show you guys what I first did. So I had a practice exam that the professor like gave to us to use as a study material, and what I went ahead and did is I did the whole practice exam. I just, I used a color for the question, and then really what I'm doing is I'm doing like step by steps. Like this is how you solve it. I mean, some of these questions require like several different steps and stuff like that. But I'm always just starting by showing, the formula you need for the question. I'm showing you, this is a formula, but it can also be shown in this formula. So I'm literally just like picking apart every single problem in this practice test and making sure I thoroughly understand how to do it, not just memorize how to do it, if that makes sense. So, I'm like, first you're going to do this, then you're going to do this, then you're going to do this. Sometimes you have to be like super just literate and straight up about it. And I feel like this is really going to help me with studying. So yeah, that's the first thing I did. I went through the practice test. Okay. And then what I did is I took that practice test, right, with a ton of formulas embedded in it, and I extracted all the formulas. So now I have, this little set right here, and this is just all the formulas. It doesn't really have any numbers. So now what I'm gonna do is make sure I know all of these formulas, because I'm gonna have to know all of these for my exam. This is how many formulas do I have? Okay, I have to know 24 formulas by heart. Let that just sink in for a second. 24. I can't believe that. Okay, so that's the next thing I did. Next, I have talked about this in past videos, but what you can do is you can look up the name of your textbook and you can see if there are any kind of like test banks or practice questions associated with it, meaning the author of your textbook will sometimes write questions that go hand in hand with your textbook, and a lot of the time they're online for free to use. So I printed out a good chunk of those, just tons of questions that I'm also going to go through and do later. So I have, I have the practice test done, I have all of my formulas written, and now I have other material. That's like one of the most important things, you guys. I feel like a lot of people will just depend on the one practice test or study guide your teacher gives you without taking into consideration that there's probably going to be more than just that on your exam. The first exam we had for this class absolutely murdered me. I'm not even gonna lie. The class exam was a 50. So I said it wrong, but the class average was actually a 50%, and I got a 60 on that exam, just to be completely honest with you guys. But I get questions all the time about how I deal with just professors that don't seem very passionate about their job and that aren't willing to help their students, and it's so frustrating. Trust me, I'm dealing with that right now. I wish I could give you guys some amazing advice, but honestly, I just take it day by day with them. That's another reason why I research those textbook questions, because my professor really doesn't give us much stuff to help us. So I feel like the closest thing I can get to that is just something written by the textbook author. It also does always help to kind of go to their study office hours and get help, but this professor I have, y'all, he is just no help, so it's the ultimate struggle. Let me know down in the comments if you can relate. So I take responsibility then to go find other resources like all of this that my professor didn't give me. I sought this out by myself. That's gonna help me get a lot more prepared. And then finally, as you guys can see, I am being very extra and putting everything into sheet dividers. And I want to tell you guys something. Okay, so I know this looks really extra, but you will study so much better with all of your stuff neat and organized like this. But this is nice because if I want to take something out, I can literally just, pull it out and like hand it to a friend, or you know what I mean? It's like, it's just so nice and it's neat, and it really makes studying not even that hard because everything's organized. That is my game plan for tonight. I just wanted to tell you guys, how I'm studying for a different type of class, because I feel like a lot of what I've shown you guys is just me highlighting, but like this is some real stuff. Like I have people ask me all the time, like, how should I study for this class? Well, this is how I study for math, you guys, and I've taken so many math classes in college, and this is kind of what's worked best for me, is when I just like literally write out each step to the problem. All right, so it's about 4-ish now, about 4. I had class all morning. I was on campus until 2, and because I've already started preparing for this exam, I wanted to give myself just a little bit of a break this afternoon. So now it's about 4, and I think at around 5:30-ish, I'm going to head back to campus. My friend Emily and I are getting together tonight, and we are going to do some hardcore studying. So I will update you guys later and let you know how I'm feeling. Fingers crossed though. Literally, you guys, like the whole class bombed the first exam, so pressure's on, because with this class we only have 3 grades. We have test 1, test 2, and test 3. So if you like do bad on one of the tests, you better, get your shit together for the next 2, because, those are the only grades you have. And now we're done. Oh my gosh, that was the longest week and a half of my life. It's so annoying when you have test on test on test because you can't really take a break, you know, you just have to start studying for the next one, and that's how it has been for me. But it feels really good now that it's all over with, and I actually ended up doing pretty well in all of the exams. I got what did I get? Okay, so I got a 92 on my econ exam. I got a 90 on one of my finance exams, and the other finance exam I got an 85, which I am happy with because that's like a really hard class. So those are good grades in my books. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I would love if you guys let me know what type of content you want to see this month. Obviously, these study videos are really easy for me to make, but I also like to do videos that have a little bit more just like oomph to them, if that makes sense, and it's not just me filming myself studying. So definitely get back to me on that, and be sure to follow me on Instagram if you're not already. Yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys!